Okay, so I got a lot of mixed reactions when it came to the second Grave Encounters. Some of you said check it out, some of you said don't even bother, some of you said it was just straight up trash. But the thing is, I hadn't watched the first Grave Encounters in a few years. It's been even longer than that when it comes to Grave Encounters 2. So let's see if this sequel is worth the time, or should they have just kept it as a one-off? Let's get into it. We start off with some meta action. No, not that meta, ew. But in the world of Grave Encounters 2, the first Grave Encounters is a movie, just like it is in our world. So they show us various movie critics and reviewers giving their opinion on the film, similar to my comment section. Some said it was scary, some say it wasn't scary enough, others just straight up called it garbage. And we just so happened to land on our main character, who wasn't a fan of the film either. Meet Alex Wright. And if we've learned anything from Hell House, being in a found footage movie and your name being Alex means life's gonna be hard for you. We'll get to that though. It's Halloween night and we find ourselves staring at some booty, which is better than what I used to do on Halloween, stare into the mirror having an existential crisis while munching on a Kit Kat. I don't get out much. Also gotta get that shot of two hot girls making out. It's the 2010s. You guys remember Piranha 3D? What the fuck was this movie? I saw more boobs in that film than I did piranhas. I'm gonna let you guys know right now, I'm only 3 minutes in and everyone I've seen or heard on screen makes the cast from the gallows look like an Oscar-worthy performance. We meet a girl named Jennifer, who's another one of our main characters, and I can tell already they're setting up a romance spot between her and Alex. Because she asks about his whereabouts, she gets sad when she finds out he isn't at the party. Oh, poor Jennifer. I'm sure I'll be saying that in a different context later. The guy dressed as Thor is named Trevor, and he goes to check in on our boy Alex, who's enjoying himself in the bedroom. Also, they just straight up show what he's watching in the movie. I mean, yeah, it's blurred out, but you can still pretty much see everything. I don't remember that being a thing, but yeah, it's in here. Already a complete 180 of tone in this film compared to the first one, but we are dealing with college kids, so. And some insufferable drunk partying. Maybe this is just annoying to me because I'm an introvert, or I just need to stop locking myself in my room, but this just doesn't look fun to me. Oh my god, what is going on in this movie? I've seen balls, boobs, ass, and throw up, and we're only 7 minutes in. We cut to the next morning, and Alex is regretting all of his decisions from the night before. One of my many reasons why I don't drink heavy, because I'll be damned if someone puts their nutsack on my forehead while I'm sleeping. That makes more sense if you watch the movie, because there's a scene. You know what? I'm just gonna move on. While Alex is checking his comments from his latest movie review, he gets a video response. Basically, somebody responded to his review with a video link. And in the video, we see Lance? What the hell? And he's in one of the rooms in the asylum, hospital gown on and everything, trying to find his way through the darkness and towards the camera. We can imply that this takes place after everyone is already dead and he's by himself. Although he seems like he's been living in here. The bed has a mattress and a pillow on it, and like I said earlier, he's wearing the hospital gown. And he obviously found his way out of the service tunnels. Looks like we got a mystery on our hands, gang. Anyway, Trevor asks Alex who sent the video, and the username is Death Awaits. I see what they're doing there. I don't get it. Oh. Also, I hate Trevor. Look up a picture of every stoner, skateboarder / surfer who only cares about banging chicks and finds fart jokes funny, and you'll find Trevor. We come to learn that Alex is an aspiring director / movie writer, and did all that trash talking on Grave Encounters only for his shit to be acted like a slightly worse Until Dawn. Although Jennifer is doing a pretty good job, this other guy sucks. He says everything like a bravado superhero. Listen, Mary, I know it's been a year since your mom died, but man, give me a break. That's not exactly what he said, but I'm not going back to re-listen, so you'll just have to take my word for it. The guy's name is Gary, and the girl's name is Stacy. These are the fake characters in the movie. And Gary is creepy as fuck. He tries to force himself onto her twice. Gary gets fed up and gets out the car, and Stacy just sits there looking appalled. Or like Caveman Patrick. While Gary is taking a smoke. Damn, in high school? My man's trying to ruin his lungs early. He hears something in the woods, and my god, the way he pronounces these sentences. He sounds like the fucking Crimson Chin from Fairly Odd Parents. But there's something stalking him, and not in the good way. There's never a good way. And we cut back to Stacy, who's growing impatient. Why does she keep making this face? What is this face? I think her and Reese from the gallows should get together and have a face-off. She goes to look for Gary and finds him standing in a rather peculiar stance, which looks normal until we get this. That was like maybe 10 worst things I've ever seen in my life. You have the audacity to trash Grave Encounters, yet everything I've seen so far lacks originality. Who's the killer, Alex? Is it a giant man-child who loves his mother and wears a hockey mask? Over there claiming you can make a better movie. Trash. Alex yells cut and the fake scene ends. And Trevor actually makes a good point when he tells Alex a guy who's decapitated standing up on his own doesn't make any sense. You know your fake movie is terrible if I'm agreeing with Trevor. Death Awaits messages Alex back, but not with words, with numbers. Which I'm pretty sure those are coordinates, but Alex figures it out and realizes it's the location they filmed Grave Encounters. I also love how they bleep out him saying the real name of the hospital. Also, fuck them for replaying this part of the movie. And Trevor is documenting his weed smoking again. This is my sister, I tell you. Can't stop, won't stop. And now he's showing himself lifting weights. Wow, this is what's the word? Interesting? Stupid. That's right. Thank you. Anyway, they're rewatching Grave Encounters because Alex is starting to buy into the whole this actually happened thing. But Jennifer and Trevor are not sold. However, Alex is making some really good points. All of the actors in the movie have done no other work since this movie came out. And we also learned some unfortunate news about Kenny, who I stupidly mixed up his name in my last video. Who the fuck was Keith? Where did I get Keith from? Anyway, Kenny killed himself 8 years ago. A self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. He apparently had gone mad. Poor Kenny. What the hell? He seemed like such a nice old man. Then Trevor tells Alex he should be worrying about his own movie but I don't know. This is way more interesting than that sack of shit you were filming. And maybe that's a little harsh, but he dogged on Grave Encounters just for him to turn around and make the most generic horror movie of all time. Bullying Alex Society. He makes a YouTube video asking if anyone knows any of the directors or actors that worked on the film, because he can't seem to find any information on it. I'd also like to note that before this scene started, we get a quick glimpse of the last scene from the first movie, right after Lance had been lobotomized. It's like a quick cut from his face to Alex's. Foreshadowing, maybe? This movie is called Slash and Burn. What in the 80s fuck? Continuing the storyline of Alex's fake movie, Stacy has found herself trapped in a psycho killer's cabin in the woods. Honestly, you should have named the movie that. Trapped in a psycho killer's cabin in the woods. I'd click on that faster than Slash and Burn. Oh, and Alex is ripping off Saw, blatantly, which had already been out 7 years before Grave Encounters 2. Wait, Saw came out in 2004? Where has the time gone? Flashing lights warning, by the way, because his editing is egregious. The killer comes back to start torturing Stacy, and somehow he's ripped off Friday the 13th, Saw, and now See No Evil? That's a more obscure movie to rip off than the last two. As the killer is about to put a drill into Stacy's eye, Alex yells out for cut behind the camera and the scene stops. And I'm not a rocket scientist, but I don't think Alex is feeling this movie anymore. But here's the bigger question. Who are his parents? Where did he get the budget for all of this? I've been a college student before. Only money I had was from summer jobs, and it definitely wasn't enough to start a film production. He's got these expensive ass looking cameras, microphones, staff, and crew. Are you a Nepo baby? What is going on? I guess he's a film student, but he still has to pay for the practical effects, the costumes, the fake blood. Is the school covering all of this? Anyway, everyone's confused on why Alex has had such a tone shift on the movie, and the man has the nerve to call it cliche. You're the one who wrote it! Alex raps for the day, and everyone is happy besides Jennifer. Jen, listen, I don't know why you're so concerned about your performance. If this shit gets picked up, it's going straight to a Walmart bargain bin. Do those still exist? Alex gets the email response from Death Awaits, and inside is a photo attached of the actor who played Lance, Sean Rogerson, and presumably his mother. Also, a phone number is attached, so Alex decides to call it, and what do you know, his mom actually picks up. Sean's mom is a little confused on why a college kid is asking her to interview her son, but she agrees, so they drive out there. They make it to the house and meet Sean's mom, and if this doesn't look like the most generic textbook grandma you've ever seen, this is the lady that pops up when you're training police officers and you gotta shoot the guy with the ski mask instead. Anyway, they start to interview this woman, and I don't know if it's my PTSD from The Visit or that one scene from It 2, but something seems off. Also, his mom is British for some reason. Alex asks Sean's mom if she's seen him, and she claims he just stepped out and they just missed him, saying that he's working on a new TV show at the moment and that he's always wanted to be an actor. Okay, this seems fine, I guess. Sean is alive and he's working on a new TV show. Nothing weird about that. They go up to Sean's room with the permission of his mom, and according to her, he still lives there. Which, I'm not judging. Plenty of people out there are still in their parents' house, and times are hard. But you couldn't have given my boy a bigger bed? Even after a while, I had to stop sleeping on his twin mattresses. I am 6'1". They show us some pictures of Sean when he was younger, and Trevor makes a comment saying he looks like the real Slim Shady, which almost got a slight chuckle out of me. Still a Trevor hater, bite me. Although all of a sudden we get a face looking at the boys in the mirror. Who the fuck is this? And why does her standing here like this creep me the hell out? But it turns out this is Mrs. Rogerson's caretaker. And punch Trevor if I'm wrong, but don't caretakers take care of people who are not able to take care of themselves anymore? Whether it be physical or mental health issues, or a lot of the time both? The caretaker is not happy with them being in here and starts to kick them out, not even acknowledging their reason for being there. While getting kicked out, Dayla, that's the mom's name, tells them that Sean will be back once he's back from the hospital for crazy people, saying she was the one who gave him his stage name, Lance Preston. Oh my God. And the plot thickens even more because we come to find out from Dayla's caretaker that she has advanced dementia. This woman doesn't know where the hell her son is. We get back to the dorm and Jennifer is yelling at Alex because he didn't show up to her play. And I get it. He made a promise, yada yada. And maybe it's because I woke up with a headache, but Jennifer, you know what? I'll have Peter from Family Guy say it for me.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Are you guys dating or something? She obviously likes the guy, and even if he is interested in her, this Grave Encounter stuff is obviously more interesting to him right now than you. If I were you, I'd stop wasting my time and take the hint. Alex is trying to explain to her what he found out, but the entire time she's like, I don't care. How do you expect me to care about your interests if you don't care about mine, Jennifer? I'm starting to dislike this character. Jennifer storms out, and the guys are in the corner like this. What is it with guy friends who find enjoyment out of their friends' relationships deteriorating? Girls band together, crying each other's shoulders and everything, and dudes are just clowning you the whole time. Listen, I'm usually not into the whole investigating where I shouldn't be investigating thing. I mean, look at the entire mystery game from Hell House 2. But for some strange reason, I'm on Alex's side. This is clearly very important to the guy, and he's put more effort in this than he did that terrible movie he was making. The least you guys could do is be supportive. Although to play devil's advocate, Alex, you should have at least taken the time to go to Jennifer's play. The mystery of Grave Encounters isn't going anywhere. You could have spared an hour or two for a girl who obviously likes you. Both things can be true at the same time. I mean, there's clearly something going on. Everybody a part of this film is missing and no one knows where they are. I say that's alarming enough to warrant at least a little bit of worry. However, going onto your YouTube channel and frantically proclaiming that a horror movie you reviewed is real may not be the best chess move. You must be playing checkers. Lesson 1 on how not to look like a crazy person. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Alex Wright. Although while he's filming this video, this happens. What am I looking at? Besides Alex's best impersonation of Kirby, something is very wrong here. Or better yet, something is afoot. What, no comment from you this time? I swear, he be picking and choosing when he wants to come out. In the middle of the night, Alex's printer— you have a printer in your dorm room? Whatever. The printer is printing out a call sheet for a music video, and guess what production company is working on it? Hartfield Productions, as in Jerry Hartfield, who was the producer of the first film. Oh boy, it's getting good. Side note, Peter Breeze, kind of a fire artist name, not gonna lie. He's definitely the lead singer of a band or some shit. For some reason, Alex thinks it's a good idea to call all his friends into one room and tell him he's going to find Jerry Hartfield. Honestly, with the way you've all been treating the guy, I would have just left without saying a word. I am, however, King Petty, so take my opinion with a grain of salt. And Trevor's like, what about our movie? But honestly, Trevor, you know what? Take it away, Peter.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep that clip on standby just in case. Okay, 3 things. Number 1, I hate Trevor's voice. That's a given. Number 2, who greenlit this movie to look like this? Like, I get it with the hand cams trying to come off as authentic, but the first 23 minutes of this movie I've watched have either been blurry or noisy, or sometimes both. Number 3, where does this kid have the money to casually fly to Los Angeles for 2 days? In the middle of the school year, mind you. Please tell me someone found that piggy bank by now, because Alex obviously doesn't need it. What sense does this make? Alex flies out to LA, surprised he's not flying first class as he has so much disposable income. He makes his way to the lot and we get a really cool security footage shot of him pulling in. That's different. It's in 5 frames a second, but hey, it's 2012. What can you do? He goes inside to find the set of the music video and our main man is there. Also, I take it back. Peter Breeze is trash. What is this? Anyway, back to our entire reason Alex is even here. Looking good, Jerry. Slimmed down, grew a beard, looking like a Temu Tony Stark. I kind of like it. Alex tells him he's doing a documentary and he wants to interview him. And Jerry is not going for it. He has security escort Alex off the premises. All while Alex is yelling at him that he knows about grave encounters and what Jerry did. You think that would be the end of it, however, Jerry ends up approaching Alex's car saying he'll meet him at 2 o'clock tomorrow and don't bring any cameras. If I was Alex, I'd be elated right now because I knew something was going on. Alex puts on a little body cam because of course I'm not listening to you when you tell me not to bring cameras. This is valuable information to me. Also, I see what they're trying to do here, but the audio quality on this camera is terrible. And we come to learn that Jerry is a piece of shit. Grave Encounters was completely real, minus some special effects they added towards the end. He had the families and crew sign a disclosure agreement and he paid them all settlement money to keep quiet. That is terrible. However, completely plausible. This sounds exactly like something a Hollywood exec would do. However, after those settlements, Jerry claims he was about to go bankrupt until he thought of making Grave Encounters a movie, in an attempt to recoup his losses and move on with his life. Then we get a really cool cameo of the Vicious Brothers, who are the real-life writers and directors of both Grave Encounters movies. But in this movie, they're Jerry's interns. He had them go out and do all the press for the movie and pretend to be the directors and everything. This is meta as fuck, but I also kind of like it. And Jerry admits he only did this interview because he thought Alex had solid evidence, which he does now, Jerry. And after all this, Alex heads back home to show his friends his newfound discovery. And if I was Alex, I'd be rubbing it in their faces, but he's a little too modest for that. And his grand idea is that they drive to Canada to meet this Death Awaits person, who happens to live near the hospital Grave Encounters was filmed in. Death Awaits also says they want to meet inside the building, which is the dumbest idea ever. If this actually happened and Grave Encounters is a real life event, why would you possibly want to step foot anywhere inside this building? But Alex believes this is the film he wants to make. The film he should make. A guy named Alex getting his friends into a dangerous and possibly life-threatening situation? No idea where I've seen that before. Hey, when the hell did he get on screen? Oh yeah, the guy behind the camera is named Jared. We saw him earlier while Alex was getting cussed out. He'll also be joining the group on this adventure. Trevor is surprisingly being the voice of reason, saying how he doesn't want to drive to Canada to investigate a movie he doesn't even believe is real, and to meet a person they've never met before and don't even know what they look like. I'm with Trevor, and I should never be with Trevor. Although in a twist, Jennifer actually agrees to go. It's piqued her interest as well. Jared agrees, and that just leaves Trevor, who ends up saying yes because why the hell not? Remember kids, don't fall into peer pressure. You don't want to end up like Trevor here. What do you mean by that? Oh, you'll see. They successfully make their way to Vancouver and to the hospital. Oh, come on, 5 minutes here and you're already being hassled by Canadian police? Vegeta hairline here tells Trevor to turn his camera off and Trevor decides to be a jackass. Because of course pissing off the authorities in a country you've never been to is a great idea. Also, Canadian police officers are aggressive, jeez. They speed off and head to their hotel. Alex is trying his best to give a serious breakdown of what he thinks is going on with the hospital, but Trevor and Jared are being obnoxious. All of this is cringe, by the way. I want you to know that I don't like anyone on this screen right now. Alex might be the only tolerable one. They make their way to the hospital to meet Death Awaits, and they claim they want Alex and the crew to meet them at the west end of the tunnels. Also, this is Tessa. I would have mentioned her earlier, but she sucks. Maybe my opinion on her would change later, if she's alive long enough. They sneak onto the hospital grounds. Are Trevor and Jared both wearing ski masks? On second thought, that might actually be smart. I'm not getting caught with my real face out. They also see that douchebag security guard from earlier. Don't you have a rivalry to uphold? Go fight Goku or some shit. The security guard leaves and they make their way towards the door, which still has Death Awaits written on it. Inside, they find plastic everywhere and police tape. Then Jared asks, why would the police have been here if it was just a movie?
Are you fucking dumb?
Was no one listening to the evidence earlier? You heard the literal man behind the movie say it was all real and still surprised when you find out it was all real. Listen to how redundant that sentence I just said sounded. We get similar shots like from the last movie of Jared setting up cameras around the building to capture footage. RIP my boy Matt. These tunnels haunt me in my dreams. Once everything is set up, they finally start filming their new movie, which is cool, but I can already imagine how they spent so much time filming the first half of the last film they were doing. Now push Tessa down the stairs if I'm wrong, but Alex is doing a pretty solid Ghost Adventures impression. I don't know if it's as good as Lance's, but it's pretty solid. Also, the boom arm in the frame is kind of hilarious. They're trying their best documentarian impersonation, but Trevor's in the background laughing the whole time. Thanks, Trevor. Much appreciated. They start going over all the gear they brought, such as glow sticks and a GPS system, as to hopefully not get lost in this place. Although, if we truly believe Grave Encounters was real, I doubt any of this will make a difference. They give us a replay on TC's death, who was played by Merrin Monser from the first film, as they're in the very room with the bathtub that he died in, and I'm slightly confused. Okay, so Grave Encounters was real. Got that part. Everyone in the movie was an actor. Got that part. And they all have real names. However, if the show itself was real, which subsequently Jerry decided to turn into a movie, and they actually were filming it for Jerry's production company, then why does everyone have fake names? We get an explanation for Sean's stage name, Lance Preston. His mom was the one who gave it to him. But why does everyone else have fake actor names? TC, Sasha, Matt, Houston. And if that's the case, then Jerry should be going by his real name, Ben Wilkinson. Maybe I'm thinking too deeply into this, but possible plot hole? Anyway, Alex attempts to get into contact with TC's ghost, and we all know how this usually goes. He does an EVP and a big fat load of nothing happens. They head into the room with all the scribbles in an attempt to contact the spirits, but still nothing. Jared turns on the thermal camera and he thinks he caught something, but it's just Trevor farting. What did I say earlier? He even looks like a douchebag in infrared. They head down to the service tunnels and find a half-eaten dead rat, which I know none of them really watched the first movie because they all know this is the work of Lance. He was living off rats while lost down here after Sasha disappeared. They find the room they're supposed to be meeting Death awaits him, but he's a no-show and Alex is starting to lose interest in this project. And it kind of reminds me of my early YouTube days, way before you guys found me. Fun fact, I was a Call of Duty Zombies YouTuber. Can you believe that? I was convinced that would be my thing, but now look where we are. And I appreciate the hell out of you guys. They find a spirit board under some newspapers on the table, and that's, what's the word? Stupid? Convenient, yes. Jennifer convinces Alex to play with her and they begin asking the spirits questions. Planchette starts moving on its own. Oh shit, we're getting active early. They come to find out Death Awaits never bailed. They've been here the whole time as Alex asks who's communicating with them and it spells out its name. Which, okay, rewind. How could the spirit have possibly known they removed the newspaper and started playing Guess Who with the ghost? And even if they found the table, it was no guarantee of them actually using the spirit board. I've learned when it comes to these movies that everything just happens to fall in the evil entity's hands. Everything goes to plan for it, but not the people it's haunting. However, the planchette breaks free and it starts moving rapid fire on its own, casting away any doubt the group may have had thinking Jennifer or Alex was messing with them. This happens after Alex asks the spirit what it wants them to do, and it says two words: film everything. Tully, is that you? Terrorize your own universe, you greedy fuck. The table starts rumbling violently, but everyone backs away and then it stops. And right after Alex asks everyone if they're okay, boom, table and chairs go flying. Damn, the spirits are wasting no time this go around. They find a room to lock themselves in and try to catch their breath, and they're excited? Huh? My thoughts exactly. Oh my god, you guys, the movie we watched about the murderous spirits was real, and now they're gonna kill us. I can't wait to tell my grandkids about this someday. The door starts banging and they all think it's a demon, but it turns out Vegeta came back from his sparring with Goku and he's packing heat. Trevor starts arguing with the security guard because someone has to be the rebel in the group. Everyone is yelling in every direction until they hear someone running upstairs. They all freeze and Vegeta decides to be the big macho man and check it out. Everyone discouraging him to do so, but hey, unlike 99% of the people in these movies, he has a gun. That's one more gun than everyone else has. Although on the flip side of that, the people with guns in these kind of movies don't last very long. I got a feeling we won't be seeing Great Value Hopper here again. Jared thinks they should get the hell out of here, but Alex doesn't want to leave without the cameras. They're expensive and their movie goes out the window. However, while Alex is making his way upstairs, gunshots start going off. And we don't know if Vegeta saw anything supernatural. Maybe it was a rat. I don't know why you need to let off 5 to 6 rounds on a rat, but did you see that exoskeleton earlier? These things are huge. Alex runs up there acting like he cares if the security guard is injured or not. As soon as I heard shots, I would have gotten the fuck out of there. But everyone being good friends decide to follow behind Alex. They find his flashlight and some bullet shells on the ground, but no sign of him. Damn it, demons, you could have at least left the gun. I know this shit probably won't work, but at least I'd feel safer. And amidst all of this, Alex decides they should split up.
Oh, okay.
I want to yell so badly, but as a fear of peaking my mic, I won't. Am I really even surprised? I shouldn't be, yet somehow I'm appalled. Every single one of you has seen what this place has in store for the poor souls that happen to find themselves in here, and you decide to split up? Anyway, Jared makes it up to the room with the haunted window, and speaking of haunted window, it opens by itself. And as Jared is going to check it out, he turns around and sees someone standing off camera. He asks what they're doing here, and it's in a tone as if he recognizes the person. But before we can get an answer, he gets launched out the window.
Fuck this.
I don't have words for this. Wait, no. Actually, I do have some words. This is all Alex's fault. Told him to man up and go get the cameras. Now look at him. Tessa comes in a few moments after, and yeah, as you can guess, Jared is dead as fuck. She frantically calls for the rest of the group on the walkie-talkie, but no one answers, so she blows her air horn. Tessa tells them that Jared must have failed, but then Alex realizes the camera was filming the whole time. They watch it back and see Jared get spencered out the window for themselves. See, it's all fun and games until someone ends up dead. It killed the first crew, which you thought the demons became pacifists the last time? They find a sign for an exit and head in that direction, but really, guys, an exit. That's what we think we're gonna find in an asylum designed to trap you for all eternity. Can we at least find some Long John Silvers? I'm starving. I knew your kind existed somewhere. They get to the quote-unquote exit, and of course it's just a wall. They find a map and hopes to escape, but Alex has already given up. And I'm with Alex. There is no use. Say your goodbyes on camera now because this is the end. They continue to walk around and find themselves in the child sector of the hospital. And that's fucked up. Freaking experimented on children too? This is fucking creepy. Listen, dead adults are scary, yes. But dead children for some reason just are on a different level of terrifying. I don't even like alive children. And it's always a creepy little girl for some reason. Speaking of which, they find a little girl brushing her hair, and this is Caitlin. I know I'm introducing her as if she's a main character, but she tells them her name, so might as well acknowledge it. Although imagine the type of movie that would have became if the little demon girl teamed up with them or some shit. Part of me would watch it, and the other part would think it's extremely stupid. However, she's definitely not here to lend a helping hand, as she hits them with the wide mouth face and also this. Oh my god, she's not even running, she's just levitating aggressively. See, that's how you do that properly. Charlie from the gallows could learn a few lessons from Caitlin here. Tessa runs around the corner, but as the rest of the gang are behind her, the hallway she went through turns into solid wall. That's actually kind of sick, but that also means Tessa's by herself? Tessa's by herself, yes. Poor Tessa. Wish I got more time getting attached to this character, but she's done nothing significant enough for me to warrant giving up my precious care points. Care points? Yeah, my care points, up in the left-hand corner. When the fuck did those get there? As the spirits are bullying Tessa, it hits the flashlight out of her hand and drags it away, leaving her in the darkness. She finds the camera and uses the night vision to see where she's going. And unfortunately for Tessa here, she won't be finding her way back to Alex and the group. Doors begin getting knocked off their hinges as Tessa's lifted up by a force we can't see. She tries to get away, but we hear her skull getting crushed as she starts bleeding from her eyes, ears, and nose. She's dragged away into the darkness. Oh my god, like poor Tessa, that's so unfair. Moving on, back to Alex, Jennifer, and Trevor. Alex is documenting what's going on in hopes that if they're never found again, they could at least have evidence of what happened. He then comments saying he doesn't think they'll be seeing Jared or Tessa ever again. And Jennifer's being all sad, like, don't say that. Jennifer, be realistic right now. They're dead. You literally saw Jared get launched out the window. I know that's harsh, but look on the bright side. We're alive. For now, at least. Let's just focus on that. Trevor yells at Alex to turn the camera off, but Trevor, remember what Death Awaits said. We gotta film everything. They hear a loud bang in the distance and Alex comforts Jennifer. What is it with these movies and the protagonist getting the girl he likes only after their lives are put in danger? Also, I love how Alex is dramatic, like, I'm not gonna let anything happen to you, but he only says it to her. Like, fuck Trevor, right? Yeah, honestly, fuck Trevor. While searching for our way out, they walk into a room and holy shit, it's a security guard. And he's being introduced to some very aggressive shock therapy. He stops moving and Alex checks to see if he's dead, only for him to fake us out and then die for real. This scene was honestly intense as fuck. Look at this. Also love how Trevor yelled at Alex to put the camera down earlier, but gets shots like this. They find a window with some of the metal grate coming off and figures that could be a way out. They actually end up getting it off. However, as Trevor is speaking, the big friendly giant busts through the window, and I don't think he's feeling too friendly today. They make a run for it all the way back to the lobby and actually make it out of the hospital. As the BFG behind him tries to come outside, he combusts into dust all over Jennifer and Trevor. They unfortunately pass by Jared's body on the security guard's car, RIP my boy. They make it back to the truck and they drive off. They get back to the hotel and I'm honestly astounded they were able to make it out. Demons went soft on them. They start grabbing their things and Jennifer is like, we can't just leave. Yes the fuck we can. We'll figure out a way to tell authorities about what happened, but we gotta go. They make their way towards the elevator and as the doors are closing, the maid they pass by is standing there like this. Okay, that's a little weird, but whatever. The elevator door is open and no, you cannot be serious. How did the hospital possibly pull that off? Them escaping, seeing Jared's body on the car, the driving in traffic, them grabbing their physical bags, going into a working elevator, only for that to be the asylum the whole time? Man, fuck this place for giving us false hope. Alex scrapes Jennifer off the ground because she's freaking the hell out and I would probably do the same. What's the point? We are not getting out of here. Look at her. She's lost all hope. Also, gross, Jennifer. That is highly unsanitary. Look at that wall. Just kissing dead rat particles on concrete. Oh, nothing. I just wanted you to see how ridiculous Trevor's sleeping face looks in night vision. Moving on. Alex isn't giving up though and refuses to die in this moldy ass tunnel, so after resting, they all get up and keep moving forward. However, while walking, a bunch of pipes start to burst and they try their best to navigate through it. Then all of a sudden, someone starts running towards them in the infrared camera and it's Lance? Holy shit, dude, you're alive? And oh, you've seen better days. Ugh. He leads them to a ventilation system and while they're planning their grand escape, Caitlin is in there doing her best impersonation of a contortionist. I'd say you're in the wrong field of work there, sweetie. You do this shit in the circus and that's an infinite money glitch. They make it out and Trevor tries his best serious face. Are you modeling for H&M? Trying to give dramatic, but instead you're giving Edward Cullen. Lance here has made himself a little hideout away from the demons lurking about. Also, they didn't know who he was at first, but honestly, look at this guy. A nasty, dirty, musty echo of what he used to be. Also, the wig they put on his head looks absolutely ridiculous. It doesn't even match his beard, which I guess isn't always going to be the exact same color, but that's not even close. Oh yeah, and he's completely lost his mind, by the way. He's been in this place for pretty much a year, and he's just been living off sewer rats. I can only imagine how he would react if you gave him a burger. Lance thinks they're patient patients, but Alex is like, no, we're film students and we broke in. And even completely out of his mind, Lance is like, why the fuck would you do that? Alex tries to show Lance who he was before all of this, and Lance is completely gone. I mean, think about it. He's been in this place for this long. Who knows what he's experienced or seen? And Alex says he's been here for 9 years. Huh? Okay, so side note, unbeknownst to me, the Grave Encounters movie came out in 2011. The Grave Encounters show in the universe took place in 2003. Am I slow? Was this ever outwardly said in the first film? I guess we get a hint with Jerry saying the show was ahead of its time, and no one had smartphones in the film, and the first few iPhones had definitely been out by 2011. Oh, I'm stupid. Can we cut this out? Nope, already in the video. Thousands of people are gonna see how stupid you are. Have fun with that. My lack of context clues aside, it makes more sense for 9 years to have passed rather than 1. I'm never gonna live this down, am I? Nope. Fun. Although I'm not the only one whose perception of time is trash, because Lance believes he's been here for 9 months. But in Lance's defense, he is batshit crazy, and I'm a normal functioning human being. So 1 point for Lance. Alex gives him a pair of scissors for some reason, because great idea, Alex, give the man who eats raw rats a weapon. Would him eating cooked rat make the situation any different? Good point. But in turn, Lance gives himself a haircut. Looking good, buddy. You're almost a functioning member of society. Just gotta do something about the teeth and the no shirt thing. And the smell. Baby steps, bud, baby steps. Alex questions Lance about a strange drawing on the wall. Lance calls this the door. And it is indeed a door, a red door. Insidious, you have some explaining to do. And it actually exists, who would have thought? Only problem is that it leads to nowhere, or so they think. And it's all chained up on top of that. This will be a great opportunity for those bolt cutters you don't have anymore. Sean Rogerson, by the way, really solid actor. Like, you would not think this is the same guy who was doing a knockoff Zach Baggins impersonation in the first film. Also, I like the fact that he's half blind, as blindness or damage to the eye was something that could occur through lobotomies, specifically the transorbital kind, or its nickname, the ice pick method. They head back to the secret hideout, and Lance has documented the entire hospital's layout and its shift patterns. Which you gotta give it to the guy. I mean, he may have completely lost his mind, but this is impressive. Even then, Jennifer and Trevor are being very pessimistic. The big X on the map signifies where Freakin' is. They expand his story a little bit, saying he was allegedly a part of the occult and did satanic rituals in the basement, all while experimenting on patients. Sounds like a wonderful, law-abiding citizen. Also, I'm surprised they didn't just straight up kill Lance after they lobotomized him. Everyone else was killed, but he was just experimented on and free to go. I mean, they did a similar thing with Matt, but it's just crazy how he was able to survive against murderous demonic ghosts for 9 years. Lance tells the group that Freakin' took the spirit world and the real world and combined them together. Of course, all of this is coming from someone who has a few screws loose, so I'm sure the group is taking this with a grain of salt. But like I said, the man has been here for 9 years. I'd say he knows more than we do. But according to Lance, the red door is the only way out. And with no other options, the group sets out to find those bolt cutters and open the door. While walking, they run into a door that leads to a supply closet. Like, dude, this leads to nowhere. You opening and closing the door isn't gonna change anything. What the fuck? Well, shit. I'm sorry I doubted you, Lance. They hear something behind them, so Lance takes them to a nearby bathroom to hide out in. And then he starts drinking dirty toilet water. Alright, that's not gonna make me throw up at all. Trevor's like, you know you're drinking toilet water, right? I think he knows, Trevor. You try finding clean drinking water in a mental hospital that hasn't been touched in decades. Then all of a sudden he pulls a shirt out and puts it on. Where the fuck did you just pull this out from? Let me find out you have a pocket dimension in your literal pocket. Okay, alright, get you a jacket and you're starting to look like your old self again. Minus the half blind thing. And we can find you a dentist, no big deal. Although for some reason Lance starts banging on the wall in a fit of rage. Or so it looks to everyone else. But in reality, he's opening an exit for them. When they go through, they fall straight down. What in the as above, so below fuck is going on right now? Also love how Trevor is the only one who falls right on his face. I'm surprised he didn't break anything. Ryan got pushed off that ladder and his leg was doing the zigzag. They find the bolt cutters and head back to the hideout and go to sleep. Oh shit, I see you, Alex. But then the craziest thing happens. A genie comes out of Trevor's book bag and grants him 3 wishes. Wait, really? Seriously? How gullible can you be? You actually fell for that? Oh. Anyway, the camera starts levitating out of the bag. How is that any less weird than the first option? For some reason, it just films everyone in the room and goes back into the book bag. Trevor wakes up to go pee, but while doing so, he has a very vulnerable moment. He breaks down crying and starts apologizing for the way he can act at times. He's just scared. He has no way of knowing if he'll make it out of here. Oh man, now I kind of felt like a jackass. I guess you deserve this one, my guy. Poor Trevor. While he's in the bathroom, Lance comes in. Oh, he probably has a pee too. Oh, come the fuck on! Well, Trevor's dead. Just as I started to feel feelings for this character. Lance says they made him do it, and I'm assuming he means the spirits in the hospital. Also, I know everyone in the movie has been calling him Sean, but he'll always be Lance Preston to me. Alex and Jennifer wake up to find Trevor's body. At first, I thought they were gonna assume that the spirits had did it, but Alex is straight up like, no, I know Sean did this shit. And I know exactly how I would have reacted if I knew the man who killed my best friend.
I say we kill him. Shut the door, nigga. Shh, it's gonna be all right, baby. Don't look.
Alex is trying to comfort Jennifer, but she's like, dude, why are you filming this? Jennifer, are you forgetting? film everything. Fortunately for them, Lance left the map behind. And speaking of Lance, let's check back in with him. The demon camera is guiding him somewhere. And while he's walking around, he starts to do his grave encounters intro, all crazily and frantically. But then he gathers himself and starts speaking coherently and clear out of nowhere. Complete mindfuck, but also kinda cool. I don't know why I like this so much, I just do. Then he starts doing impersonations of TC and Houston, and it's just a cherry on top. He cuts at the actress and goes back to being crazy, and we find him back at the red door. He gets it open and walks through it, but no freedom. Lance starts freaking out and goes to the room with all the scribbles for answers. The wall tells him to bring the others and collect all the tapes, and it will give him what he wants. But first he must finish the film, whatever that means. We check back in on Jennifer and Alex, and they found themselves in the experiment room. We see those pictures we saw last time in the first film. While looking around, the light comes on and we can see nurses in the distance wheeling a new guinea pig in. And moments later we see the man himself freaking walk onto the screen. Let's rewind a little bit. Who is this? They're all dead. Are they experimenting on spirits? Or are the spirits finding real bodies and then bringing them to the hospital to experiment on? Or are these echoes from the past? They continue to relive the things they did when they were alive. So many questions. Of course, Freakin starts the lobotomy procedure because that's his go-to. He almost notices the duo in the closet because Jennifer won't shut the hell up, and then a baby appears, and then Freakin slices the baby's throat? What the fuck? Okay, alright, I'm done with this scene. Some shit is a little too dark for even me. Although we can assume with the pentagram on the ceiling this was some sort of sacrifice. Anyway, Alex and Jennifer get caught and they make a run for it, and they end up back in that damn supply closet again. And while Alex is stressing Jennifer about how to read the map, it goes from the closet to the room with the red door. This movie is a complete mindfuck, I swear. Lance is over in the corner creeping me out, and then he becomes the camera bender. I don't know what's going on anymore. Lance tells Alex to give him the tapes from the camera, and Alex's emo hair says no. Lance is not going for it, and he tries to take it by force, and they get into a tussle. Oh shit, Alex might have some hands. Oh no, he's losing now. Damn it, Alex. W Jennifer moment though, because she whacks Lance over the head and gets him off Alex. He starts bleeding and cussing her out, and then a portal in the wall opens up and starts sucking everybody in. What the fuck am I watching? Okay, Lance gets sucked in and the portal closes, and that is officially the end of the OG Grave Encounters crew. God, I feel like I'm high. Now that just leaves Alex and Jennifer. In this scene, this is the scene where I get pissed off. Alex has finally realized what the building wants him to do. Only one of them can get out. So he takes the camera and proceeds to beat Jennifer to death. And this scene is a little too graphic, so I'm not gonna show it, but what? You mean to tell me? Actually, you know what? Let's do this properly. You mean to tell me that after all that, you promising to get her out, you saying you won't let anything happen to her, that you didn't sacrifice yourself for her? This could have been a romantic, sad ending. But no, you were the chosen one, Alex. You just had to kill her so you could get out. So you could finish the movie you've always wanted to make, huh? I feel so many emotions right now. But Death Awaits didn't lie. Alex opens the red door one more time, and behold, it actually was an exit. He comes out onto a wheat field and turns around and the door disintegrates. That looked terrible, by the way. We cut to some dash cam footage of Alex walking on the road. And when the police find a guy covered in blood walking around with a duffel bag, they don't take too kindly to that. However, luckily for Alex, he just happens to be in Los Angeles. We cut to October 1st of 2012, and it's Alex and Jerry. They explain how Grave Encounters 2 came about. Alex came to Jerry about the sequel, and he was skeptical at first until he saw the footage, and then he was on board. And this time, Jerry says that everything we just saw was fake, heavily manipulated and edited for your viewing pleasure. And we get one last message from Alex telling everyone to not go looking for the hospital. You won't find anything. There's nothing there. And then it cuts to black. And that, my friends, is Grave Encounters 2. Now we can safely assume that he did indeed come to Jerry. I'm sure he used his Hollywood exec money to bail him out whatever jail he was in, especially after he discovered he might have another cash cow on his hands. He shows Jerry the footage, Jerry realizes they've struck gold, and he agrees to distribute it. We get this scene as a disclaimer saying everything was not real, so we don't have a lawsuit on our hands, and once again probably paid the families to keep quiet. At least that's what I think happened. I'm sure there's an actual analysis on the internet that's more accurate. All in all, I don't know how to feel about this one. It's definitely not as good as the first film, and I for some reason remember liking it better than Grave Encounters 1, but nah. This movie has some decent scares, but it starts to get ridiculous towards the end, and I didn't really feel an attachment towards any of these characters. I started to feel bad for Trevor at one point, but he ends up dying right after that. And Jennifer might have been the only one I would have been okay with making it out alive. Alex is a piece of shit, and all he cared about was making his movie and getting rich. We even get an extra scene at the end of the credits with Jennifer talking to Tessa about Alex, saying how she only has eyes for him, but he won't take the hint. Damn it, Alex, you suck. Jared and Tessa were fodder, so that's that. Grave Encounters 2 wasn't the worst horror movie I've ever seen, trust me on that one. But I wouldn't be mad if we lived in a timeline where it doesn't exist and we only had the first one. Have you seen Grave Encounters 2? If so, let me know what you thought of it down in the comments. If you haven't, I'd say it's a solid watch. If you love the vibe of the first one, then the second one might be a little jarring at first. I had a decent enough time with it, but like I said, not as strong as the first film. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's video, and also hype it up if you can. My name is Greaves, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace!